Then let's move on then, because we both asked our question.
Yeah, favorite team.
What's up, Minnesota? How we doing? I am going to talk about Adrian Heath going into his seventh year after finishing sixth in the West, barely scraping into the playoffs. But I want to. They want 48 points, but I want to know what do you think they're going to line up in this year?
So I think I made a shape that does not include Reynoso right now. I don't know if you have more information on whether or not he's going to be playing with them this year, but I made the starting 11 based on that he's not here. Um, but obviously, if he does play for them, that will change things. He will slide right into the starting lineup. But I've gone with a 4-3-3, and I've gone with Dane St. Clair in goal, DJ Taylor at right back. I've got Miguel Tapias and Michael Boxall at center back, Kamar Lawrence at left back, midfield three of Robin Lurd, Will Trapp, and Hassani Dotson. And then the attack up top, I got Franco Fragapane, Luis Amaria, and Mender Garcia on the right.
Interesting. Okay, I left Reynoso in, assuming he would get back. I don't have anything more at the moment. He didn't show up to preseason. I believe it's personal stuff. I don't think he's trying to force a move out, to my knowledge. But um,
I think he got suspended because
yeah,
he
well,
didn't
he got suspended
come.
because he didn't show up. But it's not like he didn't show up because he's trying to get himself sold.
Well, I mean,
Um,
is he suspended like for the like the start of the season, or like suspended for the rest of the preseason?
no, I think it's just suspended. Like they're not paying him until he shows up.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what the report that I've read sounds like. Coach Adrian
I
Heath
will.
says Reynoso
Sorry,
has been doing.
before you jump into your formation, I'll caveat it by saying that if I were to put Reynoso in, I would probably flip this to just be like a 4-2-3-1, drop one of the midfielders, and then just play Reynoso as a 10 in front of them.
Yep, that's what I've got him in, and we'll talk about that in a second. But Adrian Heath said Reynoso is dealing with personal matters, didn't specify a timeline for his return, and Minnesota didn't share anything else either. So it doesn't sound like he's trying to force himself out. It sounds like something's happening, and he's just uh, taking his time to deal with it. So I've got him in a 4-2-3-1, assuming he will be back. Um, St. Clair and goal, Valentin, Boxall, Tapias, and Lawrence, Trapp and Arriaga with Fragapane, Reynoso, and Lod with Amaria up top. Their best addition, I'll give it to Valent. Excuse me, I'll give it to Valentin here. He's always been a very good right back. I don't think his level drops in Minnesota, so I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, this is another team that I didn't realize really didn't have a great window. They added a lot of players, but I don't think they really added anybody that's going to change this team that much. I picked Joseph Rosales. I think adds some good depth to the midfield, and in the way that I have them in right now with three midfielders, I think that'll end up being somewhat important to be able to rotate in there.
Yeah, who's their biggest loss?
I said Tyler Miller, even though I know him and Dane kind of switch back and forth a lot, so it's not necessarily that they're going to be in a tough spot at the goalkeeper position, but I think he was probably their best player that they lost in this offseason.
Yeah, for me, it's Azeel Jackson, right? He was one of the most promising players in USL last year. He was going to make a major impact if they could keep him. They ended up shipping him out to St. Louis, and we'll see how he does there. But um, I think he could have been very, very good this year for Minnesota. And I think while it's not a big loss based off of what he did for them last year, it's a big loss on the potential of what could have been. For me, player to watch, breakout player, Miguel Tapias, the 26-year-old center back. Coming in, I'm assuming he'll take a starting spot based off of his level. Um, and I think he'll definitely be a good difference maker back there. They've been kind of up in the air with center backs for a while, so I think he'll be successful.
My one to watch, I've got Hassani Dotson. I'm excited to see him come back this year. I think he had some, I forget exactly what the situation was, but I think he was out for a lot of last year with an injury. I don't remember if it was just like one injury that took him out. Um, I kind of feel like it was, but excited to see him come back in because I think he was showing like good potential before that injury happened to kind of break through with Minnesota and I would almost say from like a USMNT perspective, kind of put him in the same conversation with like maybe like an Eric Williamson type level, like almost on the cusp of kind of being a backup midfielder for the men's national team if things kept moving in that direction. So I'm curious to see what he can bring to the table this season.
Nice. I like that. Ask your question then.
So my question is centered around Reynoso. If he doesn't come back, can this team still be successful?
My question: If is Reynoso coming back, and what does it look like if he doesn't? Good job.
I think that's going to be everybody's question, to be honest.
I,
I
I
think it's
would
a pretty
agree.
obvious one.